Bendiciones, que lo que hay, mi gente, ¿cómo estamos? What's good, what they say, what they do, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kablumski, we're here in another episode on the show. So today we're going to be talking about, this episode I want to talk about hard hitting. Hard hitting NFL players. Specifically, um, who are your hard hitting NFL players of all time or that you've seen in live form or on TV? I mean, someone that when they made a hit or when they blew somebody's spot up, they blew somebody's spot up. And there was no flags back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. Ed Reed was coming at your head. Sean Taylor was coming at your head. Ray Lewis was coming at your head. Troy Polamalu was coming at your head. They did not care about a flag. They were parallel to the ground trying to decapitate you. So those are some of the players that I just came at the top of my head. But Ed Reed, to me, um, watching that guy play the game was is my choice. He was one that um, came downhill, as some defensive coaches would say, come downhill with a purpose. My man was coming downhill with a purpose. He was coming out there to not only make a statement, but to let you guys know who and where he was at all times. Listen, when the greatest of all time football player, Tom Brady, okay, the greatest of all time football player, the undeniable Tom Brady, football player, all time, Tom Brady, right? On his wristband, when he is saying on his wristbands, locate 20. You have to locate 20 on each play because if not, he will not only destroy your offense, but he will destroy you. So when the greatest of all time is saying that, man, the respect is there. The respect is there. Now, mind you, um, he came with a defense that also he was surrounded surrounded by not only great defensive players but hard hitters as well. I mean, you can always throw Ray Lewis in the mix. His downhill awareness, Oklahoma drill, meet in the hole, hitting was undeniable. He wanted all that smoke. He wanted to meet you in the hole ready to go. And if you were not ready, he did not care. He was trying to let you know that he was ready. And his chin straps were buckled, ready to go. And his pads wanted to make that contact. He was one that did not shy away from anything. Sideline to sideline was lights out. Lights out. Those two on that defense was, man, unstoppable, and hence why they won a Super Bowl. They should have won a few more, but that defense, forgot what year that was, but when Trent Dilfer left the Bucks, went to Baltimore. Baltimore ended up winning the Super Bowl in Tampa. Um, just happy for Trent to get one. But that defense right there, if it isn't for the 2002 Buccaneers defense that I'm slightly biased of for obvious reasons, that defense to me is hands down the greatest of all time. I think at least the greatest defense that I've seen personally in my lifetime that I can vouch for, my generation at least. That defense was just not something to be played with. I mean, offense was circling that game when the calendar came out at the beginning of the year, and fear for that game. I mean, it was the only team that I could think that could maybe um, was maybe willing to go head to head with them was, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when you want to talk about Pittsburgh Steelers, you want to talk about Troy Polamalu when we're talking about hard hitting defensive players, right? I mean, you can talk about James Harrison. James Harrison would literally try to pile drive you every time that he tried to tackle you. He wanted to lift you up and suplex you. He wanted to do wrestling moves on you. I mean, but Troy Polamalu was one of those that we were talking about where it is parallel to the ground. Um, Missile, heat-seeking missile, timing up the cadence of the quarterback on purpose to jump over linemen. I mean, the guy was the flying Hawaiian for a reason. He was just amazing, amazing, amazing what he did, and he just laid that wood. I mean, he was not scared to put his neck out there for his team. Um, and it just backed it up with his play. I mean, was everywhere on the field. At one point, he dominated the defensive world in the NFL for a minute. He um, not only can you not throw his way, but you may not even be able to run his way because as he came up on the line, he wanted to come in and not only blitz, but definitely make a statement in the backfield as well. So, I mean, those players right there just stand out to me. Sean Taylor, man, he rest in peace. I just feel like his career was obviously cut short, but I'm saying it just wasn't. We didn't really get to see the best of what he really could be. I think. I mean, granted, he was great. We were in for a treat every time he stepped on the field. He can cover. He was ball hawking. He was head hunting. But I just feel like, man, he was still on the incline, ladies and gentlemen. Like we were fortunate enough to see Ed Reed incline, kind of plateau, and then into retirement. I'm not gonna say none of them declined, like Palomalo declined or Ray Lewis declined, but I think it definitely plateaued and into the retirement. Sean Taylor was still ascending, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Taylor was ready to make like legit arguments of being the best defensive player of all time. And some people say his play alone, from when he was alive and when he was playing, they still argue that he might still have an argument for the greatest of all time. I personally say no, just because just the players that I had mentioned before him. But when you're talking about hard hitting safeties, hard hitting defensive players, you have to mention 2-6, 2-1 from the Washington Redskins, Sean Taylor. I mean, even in his days in Miami, I mean, sheesh, Miami. You want to talk about those defensive players, college players. I mean, come on, that's a whole different subject. But in the NFL alone, I think that when you say hard hitting players, you're talking about your Ed Reeds, your Palomalus, your Sean Taylors, your what was it, Palomalus, the Sean Taylors, your Ray Lewises of the world. I mean, nowadays, who are the hard hitting without getting in trouble football players? That's the question now without getting in trouble. Um, there's still kids out there that are still laying that wood. There's a rookie over there in Seattle right now, McDuffie, I believe his name is. He is here to stay. Micah Parsons is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. Those boys lay the wood. They laid down the foundation of what's supposed to be done, what's supposed to be um, coming from the old school NFL to now. It just sucks that they have to kind of protect themselves on how they hit in a way that they don't get penalized. Now, it doesn't suck in the safety sense because I understand the safety aspect of it, but the fact that they're getting penalized for playing the football the way that they're watched, your Ed Reeds and stuff like that play, that's when it is crucial. So, that being said, who are your hard hitting safeties? Who are your hard hitting football players of this year or of this era of football? Get back to me, subscribe, like in the comments, or write in the comments, like, and we'll go from there. See you.